Hey guys, so I know I promised you I was gonna do a feeding video for these babies over the weekend, and I didn't do that. This kid had a few issues, and I was really worried about him, so I was giving him a lot of critical care that that took up a lot of time and attention. So I really apologize for that. Basically, I've had when you do this long enough, you can recognize when something's off. Adults will instinctually hide sickness, but babies don't. So I noticed he started seeming less energized than his brother. And later that day on Saturday, he threw up his food. Um, I didn't know what was wrong at first. I was really worried that he was going to be like the little dove and he had some kind of genetic, defect that was going to cause him to shut down and die before he grew up. Um, but just in case it was a stomach bug or something, like a digestive thing, I started giving him thinner and thinner formula, and I gave him a little tiny bit of medicine, and he threw that up too. But the thing was, he wasn't losing weight. Not yet, anyway. And he kept acting like this. Now, in the past, when they've shut down, um, I thought he was throwing up because of crop stasis. Crop stasis happens when their organs start to shut down because they're dying. But when that happens, they don't act like this. He's still not as energetic as his brother yet, but I mean, when that happens, they just stand there and they're quiet, because they don't feel good. So I had a thought. I remembered a few days ago, well, a couple days ago, I had given him some solid Zupreme along with the others, and I don't think he was ready for it. I noticed that even when I was giving him food and he was throwing it up, there was always some left in his crop. And I thought, okay, well, maybe I should just let him throw up the rest, right? But 6, 7 hours later, it was still there. So I thought, you know what? Maybe he has sauerkraut. Maybe there's something. So I had to do something that is called crop flush. And this I've learned from from bird specialists who work in the veterinary field. I almost said other. I don't work in the veterinary field. I don't have a degree. I just know stuff from doing it and watching it. When they're weak, he's not weak, but when they're weak, doing a crop flush is a big risk because it takes a lot out of them. It's hard on them. I mean, basically, you very gently start at the bottom of their crop and it's almost like expressing a blemish, but you have to be really careful. You can't just go quick. You have to kind of do this and do this, and you have to hold their beak open with the other hand, and eventually it forces them to throw up the bad stuff. And when they have sauerkraut, that's something, if antibiotics aren't working, if vinegar is not working, you do that. And when they're weak, I mean, it's one of those things where they're going to die anyway unless you do something drastic. But he's really strong still. So I did a crop flush. And sometimes if it's really solid stuff in there, you want to give him some water and mix it up and then go it out, because you can't flush solid stuff out that easily. You want to make sure it's liquidy. If there's like big seed stuff, that's harder to do. I've seen my wife do it, but she's like 10 times better at this than I am. But all I felt was liquid, and but it was like dense liquid. So I did a crop flush, and it turned out I'm pretty sure it was the Zupreme pellets. They had dissolved into like an almost very thick paste with very little moisture, and I think it stopped him up. So after I did a crop flush, he immediately did a poop, and so like when he threw up, this is what was coming out, and this looked thicker than formula. So I gave him a tiny, like 3 mils of really thin formula, and I checked him just now, and he did this, and he started preening because there's pin feather casings. And then just now, before I started recording, he did a little poop right here. So I gave him another 10 cc's, and I think he's going to be okay. I just wanted to let you guys know what I was doing.